Welcome to the What's Up Verdict podcast, where we fashion ourselves cinematic judge and jury. My name is JJ Crowder. I'm here with my co-hosts Mattson,
better red than dead,
and Alec Burgess.
Let's get it.
We appreciate you tuning in. Go ahead and hit that follow, subscribe, like, bell notification buttons. Tell a friend about us. Tell a family member about us. Help us grow the podcast. Tell a degenerate about us that's not quite degenerate. I don't know, like this, or I don't know, like the female hitch about us. I don't know. Know some people you know that have weird dating habits, and then they'll let them listen and watch. It's week 2 of our month of Alec.
Alec's month, yes.
Alec, which happens to be chick flicks, and we're kicking into week 2 in style with Failure to Launch. It was released March 10th, 2006. It was written by Tom J. Assel and Matt Ember. It was directed by Tom Day. It stars Matthew McConaughey, Sarah Jessica Parker, Kathy Bates, Terry Bradshaw, Zoe Deschanel, Justin Bartha, Bradley Cooper, and Catherine Winnick. It's about a 30-something who's still living with his parents until they hire an interventionist to help him graduate out of the house. That's when the fun begins. Sure. What a synopsis. Alec, this is your pick. Tell us why you chose Failure to Launch, my friend.
I'm a whore for Matthew McConaughey movies. And this is like one of the few chick flicks with Matthew McConaughey that I haven't already slipped into the podcast. So this one was absolutely going on the list. I love this movie. This is one of those that I will watch anytime, anywhere, because it's funny, but also has a great supporting cast. I mean, the fact that you have Terry Bradshaw in this movie, and it works.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel forced or it doesn't feel awkward having, the cast that they have, and it's just start to finish. I'm cracking up the entire time. So I was 100% gonna put this movie in when it was my month, hands down.
That's fair. Mattson, had you seen this one before?
I had not seen this one before.
Really?
I have to say, I was pleasantly surprised. Overall, I gotta say, I quite liked it. It was, I don't know, if refreshing is not the right word, but like it just was like, okay, I'm vibing with this movie, and let's just see where this movie goes, type thing. And I mean, I is this the greatest cinematic movie I've ever seen? I mean, is any chick flick to an extent, but in terms of the genre and some of the jokes and things that I felt, especially why am I forgetting his name? He's super famous now, Bradley Cooper. Yeah. My gosh, dude, some of his quotes, his lines. Jeez, and I need to look them up because there was one that killed it. There's a couple, but dude, they planted those things perfectly. And it was later, and there was a couple I was going to text into you all, especially you, Jake, because I was like, I know JJ just got tickled pink at that reference. He probably just died right there. So I love that. The guy that plays their other friend, the one that's so famous, super famous from National Treasure, that's where I always remember him from. I can't remember his actor name.
Justin Bartha.
I don't like love him. He definitely is typecast. He played a similar type of like nerd figuring it out character. He was fine. He had some timely jokes too, but Zoe Deschanel, who I love, I did not like her in this, but the way that they like portrayed her is like the completely opposite of like the preppy, like goody two shoes teacher from New Girl. She was like some emo, like kind of figuring it out chick. All that just was interesting to me and fun, and liked a lot of what I was seeing on screen. And yeah, I gotta say, you guys literally just said his name, the quarterback that I see all the time on Sunday. Why am I forgetting his name, JJ? What's his name?
Terry Bradshaw.
Yeah, Terry Bradshaw. He actually he was like it's hard to say a good actor, but like I was like, okay, this actually feels believable, which is a good compliment. You're going to come be someone that's not really an actor and step in. Like, he did a good job. Like, felt like I was watching him on Fox Sports for their Sunday NFL countdown, and he just happened to be naked.
Yeah.
So I have to say, like, I liked it. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, it's quite the conflagration of very famous people before they were like massively famous. They're riding the coattails of Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew McConaughey. But as we know, like both Justin Bartha has always played his little bit parts, the hangover, like you mentioned with but then you've got some that just launch and they're huge. I like this movie because it's clippable. Like the movie as a whole is what it is. It's just another chick flick that's funny and makes me laugh, and I'm okay with it because it's got a weird premise and interesting. But like, it doesn't stand out for any other reason than how good the cast is, and like but I love it in like the pair ups, right? So like Matthew McConaughey, Sarah Jessica Parker, pretty funny. But Tripp and freaking Kit, dude, I could watch them all day long. Like when she's like, I smell something. Do you smell that? And he's like, oh, what's his face? Ace and Kit. He's like, me and Tripp had crab. She goes, no, that's not it. She goes, I smell fun. You're a dirty fun haver. And I'm like and then the way she just delivers it, like stone cold, dry Zoe Deschanel, love it. And then like the three idiots together of Ace and Tripp and Demo, like I'm like, oh my god, these guys are great. So it's just like these pairings that have these scenes that make me laugh consistently that I just really enjoy. And then Terry Bradshaw wanting his naked room the whole time. That's just classic shit right there.
Like it weighs 1,000 pounds.
Dude, one of the best quotes that's why I was laughing in silence. It came back to me that when Demo says deception's a poison, it's like margarine. That's so funny to me. It's like, oh my gosh, that one got me so good.
Yeah, Bradley Cooper's got some great lines. Like when he's breaking down why he keeps getting like you got bit by a chuckwalla, dude. Like the dolphin. He's like, therefore nature has rejected you. Like it's just
that was so good.
Yeah.
Or when Ace is like, at least I'm not sponging off my parents so I can afford to get laid in every continent. He's like, whoa, I'm a rambling man. I'm a tumbleweed. I'm a seeker of truth. And he's just like, get out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that dynamic. They like anytime they were all three of them were on screen and had something going on, like it was great. Totally awesome.
Well, and I was surprised at how Sarah Jessica Parker's not my favorite.
She also was not my favorite.
But she inserts in this dynamic pretty well because she plays. There's only a few, like we did in the holidays. We did what she's in that Casey loves, the Thanksgiving / Christmas movie where I don't remember, but she's got the weird throat clearing thing with. Anyway, so I don't like her that much, but I like her in this. Like the whole paintballing scene makes me laugh, like the finger roll, and they just keep doing this. I'm like, looks terrible. Like, but I'm here for it. Like, I really enjoy. So she inserts into the dynamic in this cast very well, even though most of the time I'm not a huge fan of her. But yeah, I liked it.
Or just even like the simple scene. I was just gonna say when like the Tripp's parents are trying to like stonewall him a little bit, make him do things around the house, and like his mom comes in and like tells him he needs to clean something and tells him about the rubber gloves, and Deb was just like, something's wrong with your mom. And you're just like, you can remember that scene. They're all like grown men in their 30s, and you're like, these are like 12-year-old boys that should be saying something like this. And so I think they did that dynamic really well. This performance by Bradley Cooper, I actually just watched one of my favorite chick flick. Can you call it a chick flick? I guess it is kind of it is Wedding Crashers. Freaking love that movie. Watched it last night, and he plays like a more seriously off the rails kind of character. When he's in those, like, because those movies were before he landed big and has obviously been his own star in his own right. I miss some of the old him. I wish he would go back and do some of these like more bit performances, because man, he kills them. Like and obviously he's a really good actor and deserves his own performances. But oh my goodness, you put him in those doses, he's great.
Oh yeah. You were getting ready to say something, Alec.
Yeah, I was gonna say the one part that I actually don't like about this movie is the fact that he gets bit by everything. Mike McConaughey.
Oh really?
Yeah, that's a bit that I was like, oh, I don't know if it plays off for me as well. Like the 4th or 6th time he gets bit by something.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's funny when it's the dolphin, and it's funny when it's the chipmunk. But when you like put them all together, including the chuckwalla and everything else, I'm like, it just feels like they like, hey, this worked. Let's keep doing it.
Sure.
But other than that, that's like my biggest gripe with this movie. Other than that, I don't have much to gripe.
I didn't feel like it's maybe because of how Jay described it. Like this movie has really good scenes, and that's just kind of how I continued to see parts of this movie. Like I was just brought into another glimpse of something and just treated it almost as like a separate entity. Like towards the end of this movie, I think this movie has like a great culmination of like the chick flick moment that they're all in the restaurant and watching on the big screen, like treating it like a sporting event and like trying to figure out what's happening. I was like, oh, that's pretty freaking funny that they did it like that. Because you could just imagine like if you could see some of the things that happen with your friends. I thought that was obviously over the top and not realistic, but that's what we watch a lot of these movies for. Because let's be honest, most of this stuff doesn't happen. These great fairy tale endings don't come to play. And I think it almost kind of makes fun of itself in a way and does a really good job.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the movie's incredibly predictable. Like I mean, it follows a pattern and you know how
what chick flick is it? Like,
sure, exactly. Like it fits perfectly in the mold as far as the overarching story goes, which is fine. But I think that's why the little moments that stick out to me stick out so well, because I went in expecting, just your typical walking through the motions. And then there's these weird scenes. And I'm with you, like they do overuse the biting thing, but the dolphin one just cracks my shit up. Like when he just disappears under the water and he's just like, oh, what the hell? Like, and the chuckwalla is funny to me because like they're just the most timid thing. So like these animals, the chipmunk, I'm like, chipmunks can be feral little fuckers. So it didn't surprise me. But like, yeah, the chuckwalla, like these things that shouldn't be biting you, it made me laugh in the moment. And so, and then the payoff for it, I'm like, because I kept going, why the fuck does he keep getting gnawed on by these weird animals, right? Other than for comedy. So then the payoff when Bradley Cooper does deliver the line of like, no, dude, you're fucked up. Like, like, yeah, nature hates your ass right now. Like that made me laugh. But I'm with you. They do overuse it a little bit. Like 1 or 2 would have been perfect. My biggest gripe with this movie is like they absolutely fucking abuse this poor bastard. Like it's like emotionally fucking just
emotional damage.
Seriously. And like the fact that they've got his ass strapped to a chair in a closet after he's been manipulated for weeks. And like then he's like, yeah, we can fucking give it a whirl. I'm like, that's not real. But I mean, it's hard because like you have to set aside the fact that it's just completely unrealistic to imagine because what chick flick is. But I don't know, like I'm like sitting there going, he wouldn't forgive you at the end. What the fuck is wrong with this shit? He's duct taped to a chair. What I do isn't this what? Yeah, it's been a week since I watched this. Isn't this where she takes it off and then puts it back on the duct tape? Yeah. I was like, I'd be so pissed. Yeah.
If Alec, you should tell us how this scene would have played out with you if you were duct taped in the chair.
I'd rather not.
Something tells me it would have gone very differently.
Yeah.
No, I think Alec would have just held on to it. He'd be like, oh, yeah, he told you exactly what you wanted to hear. And then like a month later, after he's been out of the chair and he's led you down thinking you're safe and good, next thing you know, everybody's going, where the fuck is
I'm
so-and-so?
gone.
I don't know. She left. She just decided to get the hell out. She got other people. She's got to get out of her parents'
She got on a
house.
sailboat and she just went off.
Yeah. Little does she know there's an unmarked grave in the middle of the Arizona desert.
Not a monster. There would be a marker.
Oh.
Not a very visible one, but there'd be one.
Maybe that's Alec's tactic. JJ would have mouthed off, and I probably would be the closest approach to actually being Tripp in this clip.
Yeah. You would have
Probably.
forgiven and
Although
forgotten.
the two ladies that JJ and I have hitched our wagons to could prove to be very persuasive at times in ways that would be quite fearful for us.
I married a half Apache who's descended from Geronimo.
Yeah, but I don't hear stories about your lady. JJ, sir, he knows things, and I know things about his.
Yeah, I don't get to tell the stories.
Yeah. That's because Alec would end up with wellness checks if he were.
We should preface though, if there is someone that has hitched their wagon to Alec, they've got to be pretty BA because yeah, that's all we need to say.
That's fair. She has to be half Apache related, descended from Geronimo, because otherwise
keep the balance.
She'll end up in a marked grave in the middle of the Arizona desert. There's plenty of places out between, I don't know, Gila Bend and Ajo. You got to stay on the east side though, because they blow up the west side enough with weapons testing. Things might shake loose.
Look, accidents happen.
Yeah. She was too busy walking around in the freaking weapons testing zone. What the hell is she doing out there? She's looking for Gila monsters. I don't know.
Cut the barbed wire. What?
Oh god. Yeah, there's literally nothing out there in that drive. That's an hour and a half drive. I remember getting to Gila Bend, hopping in the car and driving from Gila Bend to Ajo, and I went, I'm in trouble. All I had was a bike. I don't have a car. I got to rely on someone to get my ass out of this little oasis in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Oh, that's how they pitched it to you?
Well, no, I knew it was bad because like they were telling it, you're opening this area. Nobody's been there in like a year and a half. I'm like, oh, fuck, great. But then I get out there and everybody that lives out in Ajo thinks it's an oasis in the middle of the desert. And I don't have the heart to tell them, no, you live in a dust bowl in the middle of fucking nowhere with a grocery store, gas station, photo fucking developing.
There's 2 grocery stores now, KJJ.
Is there 2 in Ajo
It's
now?
a bustling metropolis.
Oh yeah. Is the Pizza Hut still like attached to the gas station?
That shut down.
Oh, is Senior Sancho's restaurant still there?
Yeah, that's always going to be there.
Fucking
Senior
amazing.
Sancho.
Dude, that's the greatest. That's the best food I've ever eaten in my life. We ate there every fucking day. It was so good. Their tortas. Oh my god.
Hole in the wall Mexican.
Oh yeah.
Can see the cockroaches coming in too.
No, it's surprisingly clean. It's a nice little restaurant. You just wouldn't know it was a restaurant if you didn't know. Like you just see this little fucking wood cabin looking kind of thing, and there's a sign that says Senior Sancho's. I'm like, the fuck is this? And they're like, you have to eat there. And then we didn't stop eating there. I think I put 10 pounds on in Ajo, and all I did was ride a bike. Anyway, we're not talking about Ajo. I don't know why I'm talking about in the middle. Oh, because you were going to leave. Except I don't know who'd get left out there, you or Oshie, but.
Oh, 100% me.
Yeah, I was going to say. But yeah, no, I did. This movie's funny. Funnier than I expected. Casey's like you, Alex. She's got like an obsession with McConaughey. And then she has an even bigger obsession with Sarah Jessica Parker because she was like a big Sex in the City.
So she watched this movie with you for sure.
Freak. Oh yeah. We've watched this movie a ton. Like this one, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, like all the major McConaughey chick flicks she'll pull out every once in a while and make me watch. And I laugh.
I'll say
this one I laugh the most.
For those, I know we have a more predominantly male listening audience. Like if you haven't seen it, and you got a significant other or whatever, or you're just you. It's a funny movie. Like, I think it's enjoyable, and I'm happy to have watched it, and I'm sure I will watch this movie again. I've never seen it, but it was a good time. It was funny, and I think that for this type of genre, that's the praise that you're looking for.
Yeah.
It's predictable. It's what you expect it to be, but it's got well-timed jokes, and you're going to laugh.
Yeah. What was the fucking bird? What kind of bird
Oh
was
my
it?
gosh.
Was it a mockingbird?
To Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh, that shit was great. I got it.
You pumped it more than twice, didn't you?
Oh god. Yeah. Yeah.
That did set up like one of the dumbest cool jokes that I've ever heard, which is
What's that?
When the Mockingbird, she's talking to the guy in the gun store. He's
Yeah.
like, there's a whole book on like, you know, why you shouldn't kill a mockingbird. And she's like, oh, I'll take one of those too. Just to kill a mockingbird.
Yeah.
Thinking it's an instruction manual. That joke gets me every single time. But it's such a stupid joke, it shouldn't.
I love in the same scene when she's talking to him, she goes, it's like it's $15 for a box of 25. She's like, I only need one. I'm like, what? Well, and the guy that plays the fucking the store guy, what's his name? Oh God.
I know you're talking about. He's in stuff in some things.
Yeah, he's funny as hell. Rob Corddry is his name. He's in a movie called What Happens in Vegas with Ashton Kutcher and I can't remember why can't I think of her name? She was in The Mask. She was one of the Charlie's Angels. The blonde. Why can't I think of her name? God.
Pamela Anderson?
No. You're going old school there. I'm impressed.
Charlie's Angels blonde. There's only one that I'm going to, JJ.
That's fair. But was she even in Charlie's Angel?
I don't know.
Anyway, that's a funny movie. And every time I see him, that's the movie that I think of. Because there's a line in that movie where there's a girl's ex-boyfriend, and she's like, her friend's like, I just want to like send a friend over and have him ring the doorbell of this guy, and when he opens the door, they just junk punch him right in his man business. And then when he's like leaned over going, why? She goes, you just lean over and go, you know why? And so there's a post-credit scene in the movie. I say all that to say that Rob Corddry's character and this sidekick, the female version of him in the movie, are like always constantly at each other's throats and how they hate each other. But then at the end, they go to the ex-boyfriend's house, who's played by Jason, or the guy from the soccer coach guy. Anyway, I can't think of his name either right now. I'm not good with names this Sunday afternoon. Anyway, and they actually she punches him right in the fucking balls. And Rob Corddry's character turns around and goes, oh, really funny moment. You should watch it just for that. But everything he's in, yeah. There's a whole book on why you shouldn't kill mockingbird. But I love Zooey Deschanel. She's so dry and funny. The way she delivers a line. It's great.
She was my crush.
Yeah,
long time.
I had a pretty big crush on her for a while too.
Not so much in this, but with her dressing style, but like New Girl, her. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate her in New Girl. I despise her.
Well, I just meant like the way she, like her get up and everything. Actually, in New Girl, she's like, she wears on me through the seasons. She's less of the reason to actually overall watch that show. But
yeah. Now this movie had another super crush of mine, Catherine Winnick. And I don't know if you guys have ever watched Vikings, the show Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
She's I can't remember her name in her character name in Catherine in the movie, but good Lord, Lagertha. She's Lagertha, the blonde with the dread, like the braids. I don't even remember what she's in this movie, but I like her a lot. So every time I watch this, I'm like, look at that. There's two of them in this movie that I'd leave you for, Casey.
She's intense in Vikings.
Yeah, she is.
Don't mess with her, dude. She'll chop your head off.
That's right. That's right.
That's how JJ likes him. threat of death at every corner.
I like some feist. If I wake up every morning and just go, hey, I made it. I didn't do anything too terrible over the last little while. So yeah, no, I like a little drama on whether or not I'm going to wake up the next morning with or without a penile investment. Because that's how it would start. She wouldn't kill me. She would torture me first. I'd be like legs strapped to blocks, getting hit with freaking sledgehammers, and yeah, it'd be ugly.
Sounds romantic.
Yeah, you know. Depends on if you like pain or not. Which I don't, by the way. I'm such a pussy. I hate pain. But anyway, yeah, should we rate this thing?
Let's do it.
Feels really quick, but there's not really a lot of substance to this 90-minute movie.
Well, yeah, we're supposed to find some heart-touching metaphors to this.
Yeah, no. Not so much. I will say, actually, Pa, I like the fact that he wasn't mooching off of his parents just to be lazy and mooch. Like, he had an emotional reason for it. Like, that they kind of went down and with the girl. And I like that part. Kind of tying it to where it wasn't just super ridiculous. And then the fact that he gets to throw it in their faces after he finds out that they're being complete and utter pieces of shit to him. Like, parents paid somebody to get you out of the house. It's funny. Anyway, okay, Alec, you're first. It's your movie. Rate this motherfucker.
My movie. It's a very easy 4.5 for me. This is something that I will watch anytime, anywhere. I'll sit down and I'll watch it for no reason. I don't need a reason to go watch this movie because it's fun. I enjoy it. There's plenty of jokes to laugh at. And so, yeah, that's it for me. 4.5. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Cool. I'm going to give it a 3.5. As far as like rom-coms go, it's up there. It's a good one. I'm not a huge rom-com fan. I don't love goofy love stories because I find them ridiculous because that's not real life in any way, shape, or form. So I get a little irritated because I'm like, no one can live up to those expectations on either side. So when it comes to chick flicks, there's never going to be one that's like a massive rating for me unless it's super hilarious. This one's good enough to get a 3.5 for me. And I don't hate it. Like, I don't get pissed when Casey's like, we're going to watch Failure to Launch. But I saw this one on the list and I was like, oh, okay, that's a good one. I can deal with that. So 3.5 for me. I mean, look, it is exactly what you think it's going to be. There's no twists, turns, shocking moments. It's just a funny rom-com that puts a little different spin on some, pairings and weird friendship vibes. But yeah, it's good enough. Mattson.
Solid 4 for me. I think it's entertaining. It's fun. Watch it. You won't be disappointed. I don't think it still gets on my Mount Rushmore of rom-coms. Like, I'm not a huge rom-com guy myself, but it might. If I watch it again, I'm going to be watching it again, and it might bump a movie out. But I'm happy to have watched it, and as your resident man of the people, go on and watch this movie.
I love it. There it is. Fair to Launch, week 2 of Alec's month. Quote unquote chick flicks. Shit's gonna get weird from here though. But yeah, Alec, tell everybody where they can find us.
Happy to. So like JJ said, week 2 in the books of my month. It's the greatest month ever. The best month. 100%. Check us out on YouTube, guys, is where you can find all of our content, all of our episodes, but also Patreon at What's Our Verdict? Reviews. We are putting out some major content in advance, so we have votes going on for future months coming up, and I believe, JJ, correct me if I'm wrong, but the voting has been opened up to everybody. Anybody who wants to go join the Patreon can vote on topics, vote on movies, and get involved with the content that we put out. So Patreon's a place to be at What's Our Verdict Reviews. That's pretty much it. Kick it back to the King of Crash, the Titan of Terror, JJ.
Hey, yo. Yeah, man. Yeah, Patreon, you can vote on the movies that we watch for free. You just have to be a free member and you get to vote. Everything else is behind the paywall, but it's worth it because we do every episode that we release gets at least one behind the scenes, typically two behind the scenes shenanigans videos. Plus, every once in a while we post some other things. I'm getting ready to do like another like out. Getting out there some old outtakes from back early on when they were laugh takes that lasted 30, 40 minutes before we could even start fucking recording. So watch for those. They're funny. But yeah, as always, we appreciate you tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Cinemagic out.
Whoa!